So now I'm coming to the we have the Janet Spragens Pro Bono Award, and I'm happy to announce the winner. Oh, you already know. The 2022 winner is Karen Lapekas, and it's my honor to introduce her as the recipient this year. Karen owns her own law firm. She founded it in 2013. She serves as an adjunct professor at the University of Miami School of Law, where she teaches federal tax policy and procedure. And prior to starting her firm, Karen was senior attorney at the IRS Office of Chief Counsel and a special assistant to the United States Attorney at the Department of Justice. So she has this great federal tax controversy experience, which she's leveraged to take on numerous pro bono matters for the Low Income Taxpayer Clinic at the Legal Services of Greater Miami. She's also chaired the South Florida U.S. Tax Court Calendar Call Program for many years and has participated in every U.S. Tax Court Settlement Day since the program started in 2016. Mary Ann David, the director of the LITC at Legal Services of Greater Miami, recalls a specific instance which demonstrates Karen's commitment and her wholehearted enthusiasm for this work. And what Mary Ann David said is, while a new mother with an infant waiting for her back at the office, Ms. Lapekas picked up a pro bono case at the tax court calendar call, entered a limited entry of appearance, tried the case that very afternoon, and won. The case involved an appeal from a CDP determination and was featured in Procedurally Taxing. Karen, I'm going to have you start coming up here. There. Come up. I didn't make you stand for the whole thing, so. So anyway, I do want to say that Karen's, her commitment transcends federal tax controversy, and she's also a secretary of the board of directors of the Legal Services of Greater Miami, a big sister through the Big Brothers and Big Sisters program in Miami. And since 2012, she's been a volunteer attorney for children in foster care through Lawyers for Children of America. And if you know any of those organizations, you know how impactful and important each and every one of them is. So please join me in recognizing Karen for her outstanding and sustained commitment to pro bono. It is individuals who like Karen who make this world a better place.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Oh. Of course, all right. Okay, sorry, I leave.
Thank you for this. I just ask you for a favor that you don't tell my clients about this so they don't know how much I like working for free. But my pro bono journey started when I was with the IRS Office of Chief Counsel when I was waiting for the IRS Commissioner, Doug Schulman at the time. I was waiting for his signature so that I would have approval to be able to represent children in dependency proceedings. Once he was thoroughly convinced that I would not give him tax advice, I was allowed to do so. But anyways, it is surreal to be here because before I got the call telling me that I was going to get this award, I didn't know that it existed. Then I started looking into the history of the award, and I felt even more honored to be receiving it. Oh, man, because among the former recipients are several people whose career and service I've long admired, including one of them, Joe Schimmel, who's at my table, who's also been a mentor to me. Many of the other ones I don't know personally, but I feel their passion for tax law and their devotion to increasing access to justice. So I know you're supposed to say you're humbled to receive an award like this, but I've seen my face plastered all over this weekend, so it was a bit of a boost to the ego. But it does make me proud because I've always wanted to leave the world a better place, and this is a sign that I'm making a small step in that direction. But when I got the award, I was surprised because I thought I don't do a lot. I mean, at least I don't do a lot at one time. I mean, that's not just me being humble, but I do a little bit and a little bit And after time, it adds up to be a lot. So I know most of you also do pro bono work, and many of you probably do more than me. And none of us expect rewards from it. But we've gotten rewards along the way, haven't we? Like we've been in tax court calendar calls and seen pro se petitioners confused, afraid to trust anything the IRS counsel attorneys are telling them, afraid to sign any stipulations, any documents that are given to them. And then we've seen the relief on their faces when we explain what their rights are, what these documents mean, and whether they have, even potentially have a case. We've also been there when a pro se petitioner wanted to give up because it all felt too overwhelming, like the case that was just discussed. That petitioner wanted to give up. But I reminded him, this is the most approachable court you will ever find. You have a case. Don't give up. Tell your story. I'm going to be here to make sure you don't leave any parts out. And then we sit back and watch them win. So pro bono is easy except for one thing, at least for me. It's hard not being able to do more. But we can't discount what we can do. So for the past 2 years, I've worked from a little desk in a little nook in my home, and much of the time I've felt invisible. For days I might not see anyone except neighbors or my family. And isn't that how a lot of our clients feel? Invisible. And this also reminds me of when I was working for Burger King when I was 18 years old. I had a ball cap. I'd pull it way down over my forehead because I didn't want anybody else to know that I was working there. I was working hard, but again, I didn't necessarily need to have anybody else know that I was there. Well, the very first month I was there, I got the Employee of the Month award, and my name was prominently displayed in the dining room. So I was like, no matter how invisible we try to make ourselves, our work speaks for itself. I mean, it matters, and people notice. And what do we do in volunteering our time to help pro bono clients? Is we make them feel seen. And if that is all you can accomplish, you've done more than any other person may have done for them in years. And that matters. So I'll leave you with 5 things that I think make a great pro bono attorney. And if it sounds like you, reach out, sign up for the next calendar call or pro bono opportunity, or at a case at your local legal aid. It doesn't need to be tax related. So what are these things? 1, they raise their hand. They ask, if not me, who? 2, they see pro bono clients as themselves. I mean, I remind myself that if I was given a different set of cards, if they were handed to me differently, if I had a different life situation, I would be sitting in that chair instead of standing up here. I'd be sitting across the table and I'd be the pro se petitioner. 3, they listen. So few clients have gotten to share their story, and there are answers, and sometimes even just healing and being able to share it with somebody. 4, they don't tell, they teach. This is especially important when the law is not on the client's side, and it often isn't. But they appreciate that advice just as much because they're empowered by it, knowing that they're not being railroaded by the government, and they can leave feeling satisfied that justice was served, even if it all still feels horribly unfair. Because it is, isn't it? But that's a speech for another day. And 5, most important, they make their client feel seen. There are few things more intimidating than facing the IRS alone. And imagine doing it with a limited education or little knowledge of the English language. Now imagine showing up thinking you're going to be in court alone, and someone stands up and says, I'm here, I'll walk through this with you. That's it. I notice I didn't say anything about being an expert at tax law because that's rarely important. But thank you for this. This makes me feel seen. And for all of you doing pro bono work, my hope is that you know that you are not invisible and that you are seen as well. And my hope for all our pro bono clients is that they feel the same way. Thank you.